White Lake was once a pollution hotspot, and it has a complicated water history. Years of contamination from industrial waste destined these waters for ecological destruction. In 1985, it was declared an area of concern, but it was eventually delisted in 2014. With better data and consistent attention, driving and maintaining improvements to White Lake's water quality is possible. That's one of the reasons a brand new real-time water quality monitoring buoy was installed here. Its insights could shift how we manage and protect White Lake for future generations. Hi, I'm Stephanie Andrews,
climate scientist,
ocean adventurer, and systems specialist at NexSens. White Lake in western Michigan is closely connected with its bankside communities, and the twin towns of Whitehall and Montague have grown alongside the lumbering industry, chemical industries, and tourism. White Lake has a history of industrial pollution, and in 1985, it was declared an area of concern in the Great Lakes under the Great Lakes Water Quality Agreement. In 1986, the White Lake Association was founded by residents concerned about proposed development. In the same year, regular water quality testing to monitor for contaminants in White Lake was started by the WLA. And although White Lake was delisted as an area of concern in 2014, non-point source pollution remains a challenge. Jim DeBoer is a Michigan native and the Chief Science Officer for the WLA.
White Lake Association is comprised of hundreds of area residents that really formed in the 80s to address some very serious water quality concerns on White Lake. So the mission of the association was from the beginning about education, safety, measurement of water quality, and protection of this water resource. Data over time has been manually collected, but the ability to increase the frequency of data that we collect on White Lake and the quality of that data helps immensely in all four of those areas.
In June 2025, a NexSens XB200 buoy was deployed in the deepest point of White Lake. On board the buoy is a NexSens X3 data logger, AMR 200WX weather station, NexSens TS210 thermistor string, and a YSI XO3S water quality sonde for measuring dissolved oxygen, chlorophyll, and phycocyanin. An RDO blue optical sensor also measures dissolved oxygen and temperature near the lake bottom. The X3 data logger is equipped with 4G cellular, enabling transmission of data every 10 minutes to WQ Data Live.
The XB200 really was the perfect buoy for us for a couple reasons. One, it's the perfect balance of cost and capability. The second reason was really portability and size. From an automated data collection standpoint, we had several key interests in having a buoy on White Lake. One was understanding the dynamics of the water column in terms of temperature and understanding spring and fall turnover, the impacts on algae growth, vegetation, and fish, as well as dissolved oxygen. The second piece of information that was critical to us was getting early warning of potentially harmful algae blooms. This gives us a leg up not only on providing the warnings, but potentially targeting treatment.
The WLA has upgraded to WQ Data Live's professional tier, which includes a 24/7 public portal, something that's crucial for the team.
When we first deployed the buoy and had access to the data, it was an enormous amount of data. Fantastic seeing real-time information from the buoy. But only myself and the rest of the board really had access. We began receiving a lot of questions from folks, not only what is this buoy out in the middle of White Lake, but what is it doing for us, or what kind of data does it provide? We wanted to make it available to a variety of researchers, university, state representatives, fishermen, and then looking at outreach at schools.
In its first season deployed on the lake, The buoy has proved so successful that the team is working on improvements to maximise its potential.
So about a year ago, we proposed and were fortunate enough to receive a grant from Eagle to upgrade our smart buoy. We're very pleased with the variety of sensors that we had in the initial package, but we identified a few key areas that would help us going forward even more. So the sensors that we were fortunate enough to add were a conductivity sensor, a turbidity sensor, and a pH sensor. So just a couple months ago, we applied for an additional Eagle Watershed Council grant to look at wave weight measurement, both on the smart buoy itself, as well as a shoreline location, where we can correlate that information for shoreline erosion assessment.
After its recent deployment, it's exciting to see the upgrades to the White Lake buoy. This innovative new approach to water quality monitoring is enabling more accurate, real-time data collection and better management. White Lake's new buoy is just one strand of many, bringing together investment, advocacy, and volunteering that, when taken together, aim to forge a better future for the lake's environment and its local communities. Visit nexsens.com for more information. NexSens. Better data. It's never been easier.